The relationship between a father and son is one of the most sacred and intricate of human relationships. In a book titled Fathering Sons, author Ronald Muringai helps readers to understand the significance of fatherhood, as well as what happens when a father is absent. He joins us this morning to take us through the journey and he hopes to see in South Africa. Good morning, Ronald, and thank you for joining us on Weekend Dawn.
Good morning, Jacob. Morning, Giselle, and thank you for having me on your show today. Really appreciate it.
So, what inspired you to write a book titled Fathering Sons?
There's a backstory, of course.
There's a backstory indeed, and I think for me, I didn't really, I would be lying if I said I chose and sat one day and said I'm going to write a book about this. There's a book I wrote prior to this one called Excellence or Nothing, that kind of encourages people to be excellent in whatever they do, and I was writing a follow-up to that one. When I think about halfway across, I just felt an urge to say, no, man, there's an issue that really needs to be spoken about that really would help transform societies, and this is the issue that you need to write about. But I thought, okay, it's a bit unfair because my dad left when I was 6, they divorced with my parents. My parents divorced when I was about 6, and I don't have a son either. So what then would qualify me to write about fathering sons, But the way around that was that I just sent out a survey to about 120 guys. And from their feedback on the relationship with their fathers, it had about 29 questions, and the relationship about their relationship with their fathers, the sons, and the relationship with their fathers. So it's from the feedback of that I kind of collated the responses and then made this book.
So based on perhaps your upbringing without having your father from the age of 6 and some of the reflections that you got from the survey, what were some of the reflections that emerged from that survey, from your experience?
Sure, there's a whole lot of stuff. I think personally, the one thing that we really need to recognize in society is that a son, to become a man, the transition from being a boy to becoming a man is really made by the father. The father is the one who really draws out the man out of the son. So in the absence thereof of fathers in our nation, which statistics kind of put it at about 6 children growing up without their fathers in the house, it then means there's a lot of boys and men out there coming out and transitioning without the relevant and requisite assistance that they need from the men before them to model and to guide. And I think the main thing that I really picked up is that, especially for us of slightly darker color, we don't really tell our sons that we love them. We don't really show much emotion, especially as we fathers. So that's one thing that really came out strongly. The sons were saying, I would really love to hear my father tell me that I love you. I would really love my father to tell me that he's proud of me, So it's one thing that we really need to kind of work on, I would say, and that comes out strongly in the book as well. So perhaps take that initiative and take that point of saying, I'll be the one who does these things that even though culturally might not look great, but my son will appreciate it.
Where do I get this book? How do I get my book?
So I'm still currently trying to finalize a deal with a national distributor, but in the meantime, being a small-time producer, I'm still selling this from the boot of my car. But otherwise, you can find me on the social medias. Perhaps you can try and assist, get you a copy.
What is your social media?
Right, my page, you can contact me by my page, that's Ronald the MC, or you can find me on Twitter, that's Muringai Ronald, @Muringai Ronald.
Ronald, what are some of the themes that you touch on?
Right, so
in the book.
Okay, so I think that the one thing that I mentioned earlier really was just the emotional part of the connection between the father and the son. But the one thing that also comes out strongly is that sons want to be modeled how to deal with their finances. Sons want to see from their fathers how to treat a woman. So, for example, if I'm going to be able to fall into a relationship, I need guidance. It's the first time I'm falling in love. It's the first time I'm being with a girl, as it were, around about 13, perhaps 12, for those who move according to the normal timeline anyway. And all of those questions that young men have, at some point in time, mom can no longer answer because she's not a man. She doesn't understand my perspective. And that's where a father comes in and shows, this is how you love a woman, this is how you deal with the finances, this is how you deal with family, this is how you deal with work, etc., etc. All these things are kind of get encompassed and close in to that thing that a father needs to hand over to his son.
And now, since you have written the book, you are now a father, or are you?
Yes. So actually, my wife had announced to me, that she's pregnant, and it really hit me then because getting married and having the nice life after that was great.
Yeah.
But when she fell pregnant, then I thought, okay, so now I'm going to become a dad. And it really just hit me to say, okay, what then does a good dad look like? And I suppose every parent would love to get a sort of manual when they get a child.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I hope this becomes something like that, because this now is speaking to children who are saying, I would preferably love a parent who does 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if I had something like this when I became a parent, I'd really been happy. So I think it really helped. It provided the fire to start this thing over and say.
So what do you want the viewers to, the readers and viewers to walk away with after reading your
The
book?
main thing that I actually talk about, and I really touch upon it a lot, is that, as I said earlier, my parents divorced when I was only 6.
Yes.
So I grew up really with a lot of hatred for my dad, a lot of consternation and anger and bitterness, you know. And to get to a point of reconciling with him really took place in a event that I didn't really think would happen in the manner that it did. But it just so happened that his car broke down. We're traveling, going somewhere in the rural areas in Zimbabwe.
Wow.
And it was just me and him in the dark somewhere, and we just had to talk.
Wow.
So I kind of pushed all the things that I really want to talk about. We spoke about all the things that really hurt me and disappointed me over the years. And lo and behold, what I didn't know is that in a week later, I was going to be in a car accident.
Oh.
And the following week, he was going to be dead. So I got the chance to at least reconcile with my dad at the last minute that I didn't know about. And I think the one thing that I try to encourage people as well is that there's a lot of people out there who are angry that their fathers were not there. You know, why didn't you take care of me? Why didn't you pay school fees? Whatever the case may be. But I just want to say, you only have but one parent. You only have but one father. There's only one person who you can call a father based on your biological conception. So if at all it is possible, could you forgive and forget? Forget is difficult, but at least start by forgive so that you can have that reconciliation and have that relationship with your father going forward. Why is that important? You get the peace of mind to say, you know what, I did my best to try and fix this thing before he passed away, but also for your son after you.
Yeah,
You
because
also
it's
get to see.
generational.
Yeah.
There we go. There we go.
Ronald, thank
Fathering
you for
sons,
sharing your
author.
story.
That's it.
So that's of course titled Fathering Sons. It's a candid look at father and son relationships in our society today. Again, thank you, Ronald, for joining us this morning. And perhaps do make sure you get